Hey, what's up everybody? Dustin here, ATEM Off-Road. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are all having a good day. In this video, we're back working on our 1990 Jeep Cherokee XJ. So now that the Jeep is running pretty good, there's a few other things that I really like to do to a used vehicle after I buy it, and essentially just give it a refresher, and we'll just basically thoroughly clean it inside and out and get this thing looking really good to kind of help improve the overall value and just make things look really nice. Now this Jeep for the most part had only one owner, so the car is pretty well intact and everything looks to be in good working order. With all that being said, it's gonna have its fair share of issues. Glancing over the Jeep, I see a cracked marker lights, missing antenna, passenger side rear view mirror, and all the fender flares paints are badly faded and the trim is falling off the car. The back tailgate jambs look like they definitely can use some attention, and the Jeep's carpet needs some scrubbing and vacuuming as there are a few stains in the carpet. Now, I'm not going to go too crazy on the interior exterior details of this Jeep, but I did want to share with you that a little bit of time and elbow grease can go a long way, especially if you're trying to improve the value of your car. So let's get to work. Got these drill attachments, like scrub brushes for this drill, and they work pretty good for getting in really tight spaces, especially down here in like the door jambs. This is the back hatch, and you can get in there really good and get that stuff out and come behind it with a pressure washer. I've got these little scratch marks all around the trim, and especially on this white trim where you get these marks all around here. I'm gonna go ahead and try to address that with some magic erasers. You can see right here where the spare tire hit the trim here. I'm going to clean up all this black markings and just clean up the trim, and I'm gonna do that with a little bit of a white vinegar and a couple of magic erasers. So we'll start with this spot. I've kind of put some dabs of white vinegar on here, and then I've got the eraser, and we'll just go ahead and get that black stuff off of there. All right, so less than about 5 minutes of scrubbing, and you can see it's already made a big difference with this magic eraser. You can see it's pretty dirty back here. One of my biggest deals about this is the headliner. As you can see, this one's pretty good and well intact, so I'm pretty happy with that, and it doesn't really need any cleaning or anything. Maybe I'll just clean up some of these visors. Pretty happy with the outcome on the headliner. On the back here, this one has a little tonneau cover for the back, which is pretty nice. It's got the opening here for the spare, but it came out looking pretty good. It's pretty clean. And also got the spot right here in the back seat. I'm pretty happy with the way everything's cleaning up. It does smell a little bit like vinegar, but it'll take a couple days and it will be fine. But one other thing we need to get fixed is, while I was cleaning everything, I bumped into the rear view mirror on the glass, and that happened to fall off. So I went and picked up a kit. Might as well take care of it now in this video. It's by Permatex. It's a rear view mirror adhesive kit, and it's pretty simple to re-stick or glue the rear view mirror up to the glass. So you're going to want to get something like this and just follow the directions. We'll get this glued. You can also find some sandpaper in the kit and just kind of rough up the metal here. cleaner activator here. We're going to use that to clean the windshield. You just don't want to touch the green part, but I'll go ahead and stick it up to the windshield and get that all activated. And we're also going to clean the button as well. All right, so we're going to put 1 drop of the glue on here. We're just going to align it right here. Doesn't need to necessarily be perfect, but I'm just going to hold it right there for 1 minute. All right, we've waited 30 minutes and we're going to go ahead and put the screw back in to lock it down in position and adjust our mirror. Looks pretty good. This is where I found the Jeep, and this is what it looked like when I brought it home. And that's about to change. The exterior of this Jeep is looking pretty rough, and I'm going to do something about that. After a lot of thought, I decided I was going to remove the trim and all the fender flares and repaint them. Now, I've done this kind of work to one of our TJs, just restoring the hardtop and the fender flares, and that actually came out pretty nice. So I figured I'd give it a shot and do it to this Jeep as well. Now, removing some of this and the fender flares can be stubborn at times, but just a little bit of patience can go a long ways. During the removal process, we noticed quite a bit of dirt buildup, so we ended up pressure washing the Jeep. To get to the front plastics, I had to remove the front bumper, and I wanted to remove the tow bar as well and get everything nice and clean. Now here you can see some of the factory decal and leftover adhesive from the side trim. I picked up this 4-inch decal remover on Amazon for just a couple bucks, and man, it buzzed it off pretty quick, and I was pretty happy with the end results. See the dent? I'm by no means a professional body guy, but I've watched a few videos where these guys put this plastic part in a microwave to kind of make the plastic more malleable and massage out the dents. But in this case, I've also seen someone use hot water and it worked just as well. This has some metal material in it, so I didn't really want to put it in the microwave. So I just kind of used the hot water and it seemed to work pretty good. Now, after getting all the fender flares and plastics that I wanted to reuse nicely cleaned and scrubbed with a scuffing pad, it was time to get these things painted. Now, I'm going to be using 70% isopropyl rubbing alcohol. This helps with removing any kind of oils from your fingers and things like that, and then just cleaning it and wiping it down with a lint-free microfiber towel. We're going to be rolling on this paint, and this is the Rust-Oleum Protective Enamel Satin Black. I really like the satin color. I think it gives the Jeep a really good look, and we'll just go ahead and start rolling this paint on. I put 2 coats of paint, allowing 24 hours to dry in between coats, and just followed the instructions on the back of the can. Now, while that paint was drying, I decided to install a new passenger side mirror, which has been missing since I bought the Jeep. We went ahead and removed the screws on this part, the door handle, and then the side armrest. There was 2 screws, and then basically went around the whole surrounding border of the door panel with this tool and popped out all the little clips, these plastic clips here, to separate the panel from the door. And then there was a cover that we took off here that had a screw. So yeah, you have to do all that work to take off the 1 screw, and then we can get to these Torx bits here, and then we'll reassemble the new rear view mirror from the outside in. Now, this piece that was on the door has threads for the bolt holes, and on the new one I noticed they do not have the threads in the holes. So luckily I had the tap. It's a 1/4 We'll go ahead and tap the aluminum and then get it bolted in on the door. This was an Amazon purchase, and it's also mechanical, and the original one is electronic. So I'm going to basically shove this way back in the back, And to adjust it now, I'm just going to use my finger. The new mirror came with a gasket, so we got that installed and just put everything back together in reverse order. And I thought the new mirror looks pretty good. Now, I actually like the look of the trim not being there and basically just more white paint. But my daughter pointed out that the lines from the undercoating weren't taped properly from the manufacturer and it kind of looked off. And I totally agreed. So she suggested that we just paint it just like we did the fender flares, and we gave it a go. I used basically the same method for painting the fender flares as the Jeep, and yeah, I think it came out pretty good. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Should I have not painted this? Should I have painted it? Overall, I'm pretty happy we took the chance at doing it, and I thought it came out looking pretty good. Now I'm really excited about this next part, getting the new lights installed. We went with these clear marker lights, and then I wanted to get the Dragon Eye headlights to match what I already have on our Jeep TJ Wrangler. The headlights are pretty easy to install. Just remove the headlight bezels and the retaining ring, and then unplug or disconnect the old headlight, and then install it as you would in reverse order. Now these headlights offer two effects, a Dragon Eye or a halo effect. For the Dragon Eye effect, you'll use the green wire, and I just lengthened it with a white wire to splice into the positive side wire for the marker lights. So whenever the blinker or the marker lights are on, you'll have a Dragon Eye effect. It pierces the insulation on the white wire. Then you close it for a secure connection. And this is what it looks like before and after. Now the last finishing touches for this Jeep that I think would really make this pop out are painting the door handles and the windshield wiper blades. Now I normally wouldn't paint them on the car. I figured if I'm going to remove them, I might as well replace them, and we're kind of working on a budget, so I decided I was going to paint them in place. I'll do 2 coats of the 2X satin black Rust-Oleum paint plus primer, and this should go well with all the other trim that I've painted. Got some freshly painted windshield wipers and some new blades. These just snap right on, just like that, and they're ready to get installed on the Jeep. Let's put them on. And we got the final touch, which is the antenna. Threads right on. Nice and secure. Looks good. All right, so that's gonna wrap it up for the refresher on this 90 Jeep Cherokee XJ. And man, collectively, I am glad we were able to save this Jeep, another Jeep on the road again. And I thought that everything, as far as the interior, exterior, came out pretty awesome. And I'm really excited about getting some more content out on this Jeep. We're gonna be doing some suspension next, so you guys want to stay tuned for that. I'll leave all the links and the materials in the description box below if you guys are interested in anything I used throughout the video. And with that being said, we're going to end it here. Thanks for staying till the end and having some fun working on the Jeep with me today. So we'll see you on the next one. Peace out.